Hey guys, I know it's been a long time since I put a video up on this pole barn build. I've been doing a lot of the rock laying, doing a lot of groundwork for the concrete and just really taking my time because it's a one and done deal. So I wanted to get the plumbing in and figure out exactly how I'm going to put the radiant floor heat in. So I got some designs and I'll go through the concrete preparation and where I'm at and show you the plumbing I put in for drains and goes out to a septic tank, and then also on this video I was wanting to show you guys what I would have done differently. So I'm happy with it, I'm very happy, but there, there's a few things that if I was to do it over I would change, so I want to show you that today. All right, so this side of the barn, about from here over is going to be like a apartment style, a little kitchenette and a bathroom. So I dug up the trenches for the plumbing. So right here we got a water supply and then a drain and then a vent pipe. I know there's those Studer pipes you can put on the drain to vent from inside the building, but I wanted to run a vent pipe along with the drain pipe, and then it goes up in the wall and out to the roof, so it's an actual vent, so I don't have to worry about fumes in the building at all. So the drain and vent, the vent runs just above the drain because it's just for air, but the drain runs over here and then it runs down this wall, and then this is the vent for the island. This is going to be like an island countertop and with the sink and stuff, and that's the vent for that. And then back here, this back section of the apartment is going to be the bathroom. And then this bathroom, there'll be sinks right here. They'll drain into this drain pipe. This also doubles as a vent. And then toilet, shower, J traps in the ground for the shower drain. And then another drain over here. So on the shop side I'll have like a utility sink, and it'll drain into that pipe and then run out the septic, which runs out the back of the building right there. So I had some really good help to get some utilities from the house out to the barn. So we brought water out here in a 3/4 inch line. I'm hoping that's big enough. I'm wondering if I should have went 1 inch, but it's 3/4 inch water, 1 inch gas line. And then a conduit. This is for like Ethernet and coax, and it just runs up into the house. And then these two pipes here are the hot water and cold water supply to the island sink over there. So there'll be like a utility closet right here on the shop side of the building. So then after I got all the plumbing in, got some number 11, this is number 11 rock, packing that. I've been packing it with this vibratory plate packer, just over and over, hoping to get the ground as solid as possible before we put the concrete down. And then I'm gonna put that right above the rock. After it's all packed and smooth will be a 10 mil vapor barrier, then the 2 inch foamular, and then radiant pipes, wire mesh, and then we'll pour the concrete. And I'm shooting for 4.5 to 5 inches, and I almost got this. I've still got some leveling to do with the rock, and then I'll run that packing machine over it again to make sure it's as solid as that can be before we put the vapor barrier and the insulation down for the radiant heat. All right, so for some things that I would have done differently. So the first thing I would have done is instead of buying regular chain garage door openers, I would have went ahead and went for the few hundred more dollars to get the shaft drive garage door openers. And I am going to change this first one out to a shaft drive on this first door because I'm going to use this first bay with the man lift where that red boat's sitting. So when I do that, I'm afraid that the vehicles, when they're lifted up, they'll be right in interference with that garage door opener. So that's going to come down. But I definitely would suggest to get those, like the LiftMaster, I can't remember what they're called, but they bolt onto the end of the torsion bar, and it turns that torsion bar to raise and lower the door. Then you don't have anything overhead at the door. Then I got a camper now. I wanted to get a bigger camper, but this is the only camper in existence that fits in a 10-foot garage door. So, second thing I would have done, which would have increased the cost a lot, would be go from 12-foot walls to 14-foot walls. Then I could have put a 12-foot door in, maybe even a 13-foot to get, because most campers are right between 12 and 13 foot overall. But I was going to put an 11-foot door in here, but if you remember back when I was putting those headers on, I had to put more than just two headers, two 2x12s, so there's four, the two on top of each other. Brings from the 12-foot wall, it brought it down almost 2 foot, so the doors are 10 foot tall. So a 14-foot wall would have gave you plenty of ability to put 12-foot doors in with a 2-foot header. Or you could get like LVL, laminated veneer headers, and load rating's a lot better on those. And then you can probably get away with just going down 1 foot from the top of your building, or even some kind of steel structure for a header. But since the truss sits on the header, so that 36-foot truss supported by the header, you got to have that support there. But raising the whole building up 2 feet would have gave me 2 foot more on the doors with the current design anyway. So I probably would have gone a little bit taller of a building. I don't know what cost that would add, but I would assume just wood and metal, labor, probably $5,000 to $10,000 more. I'm not exactly sure, but definitely I would have went for it. But I'm happy with it. So anyway, you're going to build walls inside of the building. This 2x6 laminated column, 5.5 inches out, and then I framed the windows out with 2x4s. So now I've got to fill the gap between the 2x4 and the height of the column. So when I build the walls, I got to have this 2x4 for the window frame flush with where the wall is going to be at. So I got to fill that gap. I recommend, if you're going to build walls, to go ahead and just put 2x6 window frames in. That way the inside of the structure is the same level all the way around if you're going to put internal walls in. So that same kind of theory goes with the door frame. I put this header above the door. It now sticks out 1.5 inches from the column. So when I build the wall, I'm going to have to do something about this because this will be seen from the inside of the building. So I have to trim it out with some kind of nice wood trim. Whenever I build the walls for the apartment, I've got this extra 1.5 inches. So I probably wouldn't have put this 2x6 on the inside of the building and just scabbed in the top of the door frame. I may end up cutting this off, I'm not exactly sure, but that's going to protrude into the wall after I put the walls up for the apartment. So I did get the gutters on. That really helped with keeping the sides of the building clean, because when the water runs off and hits the ground, it just splashes mud all over the building. But what I would have done different on this porch is, instead of keeping the same pitch of the roof, since there's not much surface area there, it'd have been okay to go 212 instead of 412. So the porch overall, I still would have started it at the same height from the top of the roof, from the softening to the start of the porch roof. But if this would have been a less angle, then the whole porch in here will be about a foot taller, so there'll be more headroom. As it sits right now, after I get the porch finished out, there'll be no room for like a fan to put inside the porch area. So whatever, it's where it's at now. And then another thing I would have done with this porch, instead of just coming straight off here at the end, I would have put from this outside corner, I would have done a hip rafter, and then this side of the porch would also have runoff as well, because right now when the water hits the side of the porch, it kind of runs down and gets in that J channel right here. So water kind of gets in there and then it runs out the end of it, and it barely gets on the wood frame. So I'm still trying to figure out how to control that water. It's not damaging it yet, but in the long term it probably will. So I'm still trying to figure out how to manage that water, or that J channel, how it catches the water. So yeah, I probably would have hip raftered the corner of the porch, and then it would have been a roof slant this way, and then a gutter all the way around to catch the water. So that's kind of where I'm at. Waiting for the warmer weather to get around so we can pull the boats out. And I got an extra boat in here I'm storing for somebody. So once we get those, once we get the warmer weather around and get the boats and the camper out, then I'm gonna finish the floor pretty quick in the springtime. So that gives me this winter to get all the materials ordered and get it all lined out. After it's all completed, I'll put one more quick video up to show the completed product. Just so everybody knows, YouTube changed their rules to where you have to have 1,000 subscribers before your videos can be monetized now. So I'm really hoping to get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So I appreciate you guys if you subscribe, and it just helped me out. I was trying to, you know, pay off some of this barn with the YouTube income, and it was going pretty good. And I really appreciate the comments and the feedback, and I try to answer them. I'm not sure how it notifies everybody when I answer them, but I've learned a lot from comments too. So I appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully you guys got a lot of little tips and tricks on how I did this one, and hopefully it helped you out. So I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.